Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you all to the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. Good morning, and on behalf of the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce, an affiliate of the Minneapolis Regional Chamber of Commerce, we would like to wish you all a happy and prosperous new year. It has been a very exciting and prosperous year at the Chamber, and we are now witnessing positive economic and employment growth in our community. Over these past years, the business community has faced many economic challenges. This has caused us to adjust our business models and work to be more effective while operating on tighter budgets. I am pleased to report that we are seeing all positive indicators taking place, and we are well on our way to a prosperous 2014. Before we get started, I would like to thank the sponsors of today's meeting. Would the representatives from Joe Sensors, Memorial Blood Centers, Northwestern Health Sciences, TRIA, and the Hilton Minneapolis Bloomington please stand so we may recognize you. Without sponsors like you, we would not be able to hold programs and events. Thank you very, very much. I would now like to invite the 2014 Chair of the Board of Directors for Bloomington, Andre Thibault, to come up and share a bit about our direction for the upcoming year. Andre.
Thank you, Maureen. Good morning and welcome to the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce annual meeting. I'm Andre Thibault, Chair of the Bloomington Chamber Board of Directors, and on behalf of the board, I would like to thank all of you for attending our meeting. The BCC Board of Directors had a very busy and successful 2013 as we completed the first of our 3-year strategic plan. This is an aggressive plan which includes board development, membership services, community outreach, public affairs, and refining our relationship with the Minneapolis Regional Chamber. Many elements of this strategic plan were accomplished in the last year. We updated our mission statement to reflect who the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce is in the current marketplace and to communicate what the Chamber is today. We also updated our brand identity, which helps our members and stakeholders identify our organizational connection with the Minneapolis Regional Chamber, as well as identifying the specific Bloomington brand, providing overall cohesion with our family of chambers. This brand identity includes the use of the Bloomington B logo, our updated website, and the new logos for our programs and events, which you will see featured throughout this presentation. For the 4th year in a row, we have achieved financial success in exceeding our budget goals. And with strong financial oversight and management, the Bloomington Chamber is stronger than ever. We have a lot of exciting plans for the Chamber this year and would like for all of you to get involved by participating in a committee, attending programs and signature events, supporting the Chamber through our many sponsorship opportunities, and most importantly, supporting Chamber member businesses in our communities. So thank you for being here today, and with that, I'll turn it back over to Maureen.
Thank you, Andre. I would like to acknowledge and give a special thank you to our Bloomington Chamber Board of Directors. You truly are a wonderful group of people to work side by side with. I'd also like to recognize Todd Klingel, the President and CEO of the Minneapolis Regional Chamber. Hey, Todd. Our signature events, which are the major fundraisers for the Chamber locally and regionally, were very successful this past year. That 70s Gala, our 24th annual gala, kicked off the year with an evening disco, flower power, in the music of the 1970s. The gala committee performed a flash mob dance that set a lively groove for the night, and our annual dessert auction brought in the highest bids in the history of the gala. Our 40th annual golf tournament in June brought a sunny, fun-filled day of golf on the beautiful and prestigious course at Minnesota Valley Country Club. We had a record number of golfers and it exceeded all our expectations. These events are the cornerstone of the Chamber and allow us to support our local community partners. Over this last year, we have supported the following: Companies to Classrooms, VEEP, Summerfest, Heritage Days, Normandale Community College Foundation, The Works, and our Bloomington Future Leaders program. We could not have achieved these successes without our gala and golf committees. Thank you to our signature event committee members. In 2013, the Bloomington Chamber provided over 60 programs and events. Each of these programs brought education, connection, and value to our members. The educational programs we conducted in 2013 were our annual meeting with Mike Durham, CEO of the Nerdery, the State of the City, the annual report of the City of Bloomington, presented by Mayor Gene Winstead and City Manager Mark Bernardson, our 4 beer programs held with the Edina, Eden Prairie, and Richfield Chambers, and I think in 2014 we will have beer with beer at some point. Somebody likes that out there. Our Business Matters, Safety Matters, in partnership with the Bloomington Police Department, and the 3rd annual MSP Airport Luncheon. Our networking programs consisted of 2 highly popular events. Let's Connect, our morning networking program, which allows members to give a 1-minute commercial. With over 40 members attending every event, we sold out this program last year. Sam's Club and Westside Perk were our sponsors in 2013, and I am happy to report that they will continue this in 2014. Thank you, Sam's Club and Westside Perk. The Bloomington Chamber Happy Hour continues to be one of our most popular programs. Over 315 members enjoyed the 6 happy hour gatherings held at the Bloomington restaurants and hotels over the course of last year. With our wide variety of programs, committee involvement opportunities, and signature events, there is something of interest to all chamber members. I would now like to introduce our membership director, Brad Gruhot. Brad.
Thank you. As always, I have the privilege of giving membership updates at our general membership meetings, which typically consists of a monthly recap. In this case, we get to review all of 2013, which was another exciting year of membership growth for the Bloomington Chamber. We had a very positive year with new member growth. We had 113 new members join the Bloomington Chamber. 14 of those members were referred by other chamber members. That means 14 people were rewarded with a $50 gift card to one of our member restaurants. This popular benefit will continue in 2014, so bring your referrals. There were 240 new members that joined our family of chambers in 2013. These new members helped us to exceed over 1,000 chamber members total. This is the first time we've reached 1,000 members since 2009, which is a significant milestone for the chamber. In 2013, we had a total of 342 people, or an average of 29 people, attend our monthly Meet the Chamber, which is up significantly from 277 people, or an average of 22 in 2012. Meet the Chamber is an orientation meeting and our opportunity to show prospective businesses what the Bloomington Chamber does and the value it provides. Both new members and current members attend this event on a monthly basis. Additionally, in 2013, the Chamber coordinated and held 24 ribbon cuttings for new businesses opening in the city of Bloomington, which was up from 18 ribbon cuttings in 2012. These events are another great benefit for Chamber members. A further advantage of our growing membership is the ability to strengthen our committees. In December, we expanded the South Metro Young Professionals Committee from 2 co-chairs to an additional 7 committee members. We also started up a new ChamberNet group, which consists of 12 members. At this time, I would like all new members in the room who joined in 2013 to stand up and be recognized. We now have a short video for you with a few remarks by some of your fellow chamber members. A huge thank you goes out to Gina Safranek from the Bloomington Crow Media, who produced this fantastic piece for us.
We're on year 2 now and love the Chamber and all of their events. We've gotten significant business out of the Chamber and made some great connections as well.
This year we've done candidate forums, we did critical issues forums, information on light rail transit, on healthcare, on a number of different issues that are definitely beneficial to business owners here in the city of Bloomington.
Well, it's just great to have a Chamber of Commerce that does a lot of things for the community, because the community is made up of so many parts. It's residents, it's businesses, it's commercial areas, everything. So when the Chamber is healthy, it just really helps all the businesses and really the residents of the city of Bloomington.
One of the biggest benefits that I get is the networking, being able to meet all different types of people in all different types of industries. And what's been really exciting is at times in my job, I've actually needed to talk to those folks. I've come back and I've said, hey, I've met those people at an event. I know who I can get a hold of for an issue that I need to deal with.
And my business being very much a networking opportunity business, it was crucial for me to get out into the community, tell everybody what I do, let everybody know that we're there, and it helped really propel our business much faster than what I anticipated it would go. The database that is put together has been extremely helpful in pinpointing businesses that you want to network with. What's also beneficial for me is the opportunity to network into the Minneapolis Chamber as well.
So I meet people who haven't been connected with others in the Chamber yet and are new members. So I have an opportunity to introduce them to some very important people in our community, including the mayor, Gene Winstead.
The staff, I think, is key to being a part of helping us get more involved in the community.
I love being in the chamber. It's helped me. I know it helps your business, definitely. It helps your bottom line. You're meeting people, you're making money. But it's also helped me grow as a person. I was kind of an introvert and shy, but through the chamber and working with people like Brent and Brad and Maureen, I have kind of come out my shell and become a little more social.
One of the things I really appreciate about the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce is the opportunity to be involved in community outreach. We've really come a long way. We used to have maybe a half a dozen people come to our events. Now we're getting over 20 people.
I've built the best relationships through the chamber to these kind of events. Working together, talking together, finding connection points, and again, doing it all for a really good cause.
Future leaders include business and marketing students from Jefferson and Kennedy. And we work in collaboration with the Bloomington Chamber. They learn a little bit about business people, what they do, how they do it in our community of Bloomington.
We are based out of Santa Monica, but I represent ZipRecruiter here in the Twin Cities. So working virtually, it gave us an opportunity to introduce ZipRecruiter, have an official grand opening, and have it advertised to the community.
You know, anyone who's on the fence, I would suggest that you jump right in.
Thank you, Gina. Engagement and participation of our members is essential to the Chamber. We could not be successful without our committees and the hard work of their volunteers. The Bloomington Chamber Ambassadors has 22 Chamber members and is our welcome committee. Through new member visits, ribbon cuttings, and serving as greeters, ambassadors support member attraction and retention at the Chamber events. They also conduct 6-month visits to these members to ensure they are getting the most out of their membership. Our 2014 Ambassador Chair will be Barb Gurney of Mortgages Unlimited. Thank you all to our Bloomington ambassadors. We would now like to give a special thank you to our 2013 chairs, Randy Royce of Wells Fargo Advisors and Gary Walsh of Promotional Logo Products. We would like to recognize you in your years of service and commitment to the Ambassadors Committee and the Bloomington Chamber. Please come up and receive your plaques. And unfortunately, Gary Walsh is at home ill today, so we will give him proper recognition at our Ambassadors Committee next Thursday. Randy, thank you.
Thank you.
You're not going anywhere. Stay right here. We would also like to give special recognition and show our appreciation to Arlene Bush, who has served over 32 years on the Bloomington School Board, well beyond the call of duty, and has been an active ambassador and the member of the Bloomington Chamber. Arlene, thank you for your years of public service and the dedication to keeping education a top priority in our community. Please come forward and receive your plaque. Got a little choked up there. Arlene Oz does that to me. You can take your seats now.
Okay, thank you.
The Bloomington Chamber Community Outreach Committee was an extremely active group of chamber volunteers in 2013. This committee participates in a monthly volunteer opportunity with a nonprofit from the Bloomington community. Over 180 chamber members engaged in these outreach opportunities in 2013. Here are some of the opportunities our committee members and volunteers participated in. Under the guidance and advisement of the Community Outreach Committee is our Bloomington Future Leaders Program. This program is a collaboration of the Bloomington School District, Bloomington Jefferson and Kennedy High Schools, and the Bloomington Chamber. We are currently in our 4th year of this program with over 80 juniors and seniors participating. Volunteering, classroom involvement, internships, mentorships, and conferences are included in this program. The Bloomington Future Leaders held 2 conferences this last year. In February, the conference was on adversity and diversity, how to be a winner in today's world. And in November, Stevie Ray gave a hands-on presentation on how to be an effective communicator. We took those cell phones and everything away so the kids couldn't tweet and they had to talk face to face. Student learning is greatly enhanced with the support of the business professionals in the community. Thank you all to our Community Outreach and Bloomington Future Leader Steering Committee volunteers for your dedication. A special thank you goes to Jolene Thibodeau-Boyd of Community Involvement Partners and Nate Rolick of AXA Equitable, who are the chairs of the Community Outreach Committee, and Kate Malcheski of College Connectors, who is the chair of the Bloomington Future Leader Steering Committee. Thank you. Our Public Affairs Committee provided forums for our chamber members on various public policies, economic development, legislation, and education. Thank you to our Public Affairs Committee for their work in 2013. A special thank you goes to Robert Freeman with Health Partners, who was the 2013 chair of this committee. Our new chair for 2014 is Ken Vinge with Kraus Anderson Realty Company. Thank you very much, Robert. As we start off our year recognizing all the successes of the Bloomington Chamber in 2013, we will carry this momentum into 2014. Our membership goal for 2014 is 100 new members, and we need your referrals. Here is a sneak preview of what we have in store for all of you. The 25th Annual Gala, Vegas baby, will be held on Saturday, January 25th, mind you, at the beautiful Radisson Blu Hotel. Fun, frolics, and great entertainment will be in order. Please come and support this event by purchasing either a table or tickets. Raffle tickets are also available for purchase as well. And guess what, folks? I have raffle tickets, so please feel free, $5 each. Our 41st annual golf tournament is scheduled for Monday, June 16th at the Minnesota Valley Country Club. Sponsorships are already available. Looking forward, the Bloomington Chamber has set 4 organizational priorities for this upcoming year. Economic development and public affairs. Assist the City of Bloomington in being the resource to the business community on activities pertaining to the development of South Loop District and other projects, and educate and communicate public policy initiatives. Education. Work with all community, businesses, school districts, and higher educational institutions to increase educational opportunities so that the Bloomington community and the South Metro area can achieve academic excellence while closing the achievement gap. I'm excited to announce that we are offering a scholarship program in 2014 for our Bloomington Future Leaders seniors. Proceeds from our signature events will help fund this program. Community outreach. Increase engagement and visibility of the Chamber in the City of Bloomington and the South Metro area by developing partnerships with civic organizations and participation in local community events. Membership services. Continue to provide value to businesses and community members and act as the connector to foster and build relationships between members. As stated earlier, our goal is 100 new members and a retention rate of 82%. On behalf of the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to all of you, the members of the Bloomington Chamber. It is an honor and a privilege to serve as your president. I would now like to introduce the chair-elect of the Bloomington Chamber Board of Directors, Robert Freeman, to introduce, which I am really excited for today, our keynote speaker, Matt Jorgenson, president of Sweets Kendamas. Robert.
Thank you, Maureen. Good morning, everyone. Well, thanks for coming and being here. It's wonderful to see such a great turnout. Matt Jorgenson is currently the president of Sweets Kendamas, LLC, which was founded in August 2010. Growing up in Wyoming, Minnesota, Jorgenson enjoyed trying to master eclectic toys his grandfather would give him, like the yo-yo, juggling pins, a unicycle, and Rubik's Cubes. These toys were all helping prepare him to meet the ultimate hand-eye coordination skill toy. In his senior year studying communications at the University of Minnesota, Jorgenson found Kendama. The rest is simply a blur. The interest in Kendama spread to his friends and family, and before long it became a passion he felt responsible to share. 3 years after founding the company, Jorgenson is honored that he's able to do just that. So, we want to come up? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for having me. First off, I'm very honored to be here. When I got the email for the Chamber asking me to be here to speak today, I was very honored. This job keeps coming with crazy different things that I don't expect are going to happen, and this is just another one of them. So, on everyone's table, there is a kendama. I provided one for everyone, so we're going to learn how to play real quick. So someone at the table pick up the kendama. Kendama is a Japanese skill toy. All right, this is a Japanese skill toy, the kendama. There are 3 different cups you can get it on. There's a big cup, a little cup, and a bottom cup. And there's also a spike you can get it on if you're good enough. All right, this toy has been around for 200 years. It came over from China to Japan. It was just a stick and a ball. They added this cross piece here so that you can do over 400 tricks with it. In Japan, there's a ranking system. There's 6 dan, and then it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the Japanese culture. So they go to school and they try to rank up going to school every day. I was lucky enough to have a person from the Japanese culture come over here, and I was able to test in, and I got 5th dan. So I am the only American in the whole world who has a 5th dan certification in Kendama. So that's... I compete a lot in Kendama. Aside from all the business stuff we do, it started because I love Kendama and I love to play. Recently I was in Japan, and I was lucky enough to win this. So this is a kendama that's made by a man called Kazuma Iwata. He makes the most expensive kendamas in the world. This one is priceless. If you had to put a price tag on it, it'd be over $1,000 probably. But I won it. I competed in Japan against some of the greatest Japanese kendama players and American kendama players, and tied for first. So I was very excited about that. But enough about that. I'm going to start to get into my story. I don't have much time. I have enough stuff here to be talking for an hour, so I'm going to try to do my best to fit it all in. I'm going to start with growing up. It all starts there. I grew up in North Branch, Minnesota. When I was 12 years old, my parents bought a Dairy Queen. That's why we moved to North Branch. The Dairy Queen is where I learned a lot of things about business. As a 12-year-old, you have a lot of different things going on with sports and stuff like that, but me, I was at Dairy Queen every day learning how business runs. My parents, I thank them very much for not hiding many things from me. They were very open with us about finances and how things were going when my dad was marketing and doing different things like that. He was always involving us, and he was not trying to keep us away from it. So I thank him very much. He's here today as well. Jim Jorgensen, thank you very much. The second part of my business knowledge I got outside of the college I had was, well, I guess in college I joined a fraternity, Delta Chi fraternity. In my sophomore year I became president, so I had to learn very fast how to run a business. Fraternities are one big business for anyone who doesn't know. There are 30 to 50 people living in it who are constantly in need of something, whether it be food or the next party to go to or the next event to do. There's always something that has to be done, and it's very difficult. There's accounting that needs to be done, and there's marketing, and it's exactly like a business. So being able to do that led me to start a business. It gave me the confidence to be able to start a business at the end of my senior year without much thought or worry about doing something like that. My degree in communications was a very good one. I had many different degrees, but that one was the best for me. I learned a lot about a lot. And me personally, I learned a lot about social media and how to utilize that in our world today. I've learned a lot about the way companies market towards people and how they use ads to do that. And I believe that is what's helped me help get Sweets Kendamas as far as it has and helped our sales be as good as they have been. I'm always asked where I found this toy, so I'm going to give you guys the story I give everyone. My cousin Shane, he gave me this. This is the first kendama I ever played with, right here. It's not normal, it's kind of small, it's a little janky, but it's a Chinese model. It's nothing special. But to me, that was kendama. That was my first kendama I ever played with. My cousin's a skier, so he had a ski movie, and we were watching the ski movie. And a bunch of skiers were in Japan, and when they were in Japan, they found this toy, and so they put it in their video. And as I mentioned earlier, my grandpa had me playing with goofy toys my whole life, and this was one I'd never seen, and I was immediately intrigued and wanted to play with it. I went online, tried to find it, nowhere online to find it. I couldn't get it anywhere. I went to eBay, and there was a man in Japan who was selling some, so I bought one. After I was playing with it for a little bit, all my 22-year-old friends thought it was the best thing in the whole entire world, and my list grew of people who wanted to buy kendamas. So ordered them from Japan and started selling to my friends at no gain for me. I was just doing it because I wanted people to play with. After that, things started to change. People, their friends wanted to get them too, and it got to the point where there were too many orders and I couldn't get as many as I needed. And this was towards the end of my senior year, and I saw the business idea. I saw the opportunity, and I saw something that I needed to fill. And that's where it all changed, is when I saw that something was going to happen whether I did it or not. Kendamas were going to become popular, and it was either going to be me who was going to do it or someone else. And that's where it all changed. I was working at a country club, MVCC, actually, Minnesota Valley is where I served before I, yeah, that's where I served food before I quit. That was the last job I had before I did Sweets Kendamas. I was serving food and I couldn't stop thinking about kendamas. That's all I could ever think about. So I quit my job to dedicate my mind fully to that because I knew without that I would not be able to move forward. Working capital was the first problem we got into. That was the biggest thing. I had all these great ideas and I had all these good things and I knew people wanted to buy them. I just didn't have the money. I just quit my job, so I had just enough money to live for a year without having to work, and I did not have enough money to do that. So that is where Gabe Clem comes in. Gabe Clem is a good friend of mine who I worked at Interlochen Country Club with. We were both servers. We were both just very good friends, and we played golf together, and we talked about business and stuff like that. And when it came to the point where I needed to get money, I wasn't going to ask family. I was very stern on the fact that I was not trying to involve my family in my business. I was trying to prove to my family that I could do this without their help. Gabe was nice enough to give me the money without much hesitation. He believed in me enough to give me the money to at least see where it went, so I thank him very much for that. The second person is Dick Okray. He is a man who owns one of the largest potato farms in all of Wisconsin. I know him through an ex-girlfriend, but he is a very, very good businessman, and he believed in me as well. He thought that it was worth at least $5,000 to see if I'd fail or not. So he decided to give me the money. So together, between Gabe and Dick, we had $10,000 to start our business. And I'm happy to say that that is all we needed. And we went on that for a good couple of years and just built it up from the ground up from there. So That is very cool. Now, how do we get kendamas? We have money now. Now, how do we get the kendamas? There's no kendamas in the United States. No one can make them. The internet. There's a website called Alibaba.com. You can go type in anything you want to have made in China, and it will be produced for you. You can literally anything. Go to Alibaba.com today if you have some time, and you can have anything you want mass-produced. We found kendamas. I've had 500 kendamas made that were painted, 100 that were unpainted. 500 that came painted were the worst kendamas we've ever seen. I was more excited than you can imagine. A kid who plays kendamas getting 600 at his door, it was like better than Christmas morning. But when I started playing with them, within 5 minutes, all the paint was gone. There was no more paint on the ball, and it was bare. And so we were very sad because we had 500 kendamas that we had to sell now that the paint came out within a couple minutes. And we thought we had just wasted all our $10,000. Lucky for us, we had the 100 naturals, and that's where Sweets Kendamas really started to grow. We had a friend who had a paint booth, and we decided to go there and see if we could paint these kendamas ourselves. We painted about 30 of them, and after we painted them, we put them online when we had almost been selling no kendamas, and they were gone in less than a week or two. And this is where we decided that that was going to be our competitive advantage. We decided then and there that we were going to quit having China do anything for us except for make the wood. They would make the wood, and then we would figure out how to paint it here as best we could, because we were more skilled at it than they were. And we did not want them diminishing our brand's reputation by having paint that was inferior. So yeah, we started to paint everything ourselves. In order to paint everything yourselves, you have to have a booth, a paint booth to do it. Having no money and having no resources, not a lot of resources, we had to do what we could. I had a business partner at the time. He had a house that had a shed in the back, and so me and my good friend Joe Spitzenberger, who's helped me start the company from the very beginning, he helped me sell kendamas out of our backpacks. We went to his dad's place in North Branch, Minnesota, and we raided his dad's barn for wood. We gutted out the inside of a shed that probably is from here to the end of that wall, and is probably just as skinny as this platform is here. It was very, very small and very, very old, and we gutted the whole thing, put in new floors, siding, ceiling, we put in electricity, and we did everything. And it was our first real bootstrapping experience. You know, we had no money, and we were trying to do all kinds of things. We had to scrap together what we could to make this paint booth work. Everything wasn't perfect, but it was the only way we were going to be able to move forward to get to the next step that we needed to get to. So, yeah, we bootstrapped really hard. It was very difficult, but in the end, it worked out. Working at that shop was very cool. We weren't getting paid yet. We were all making no money. I'm thankful for my friends. None of me and Gabe and my business partners, we would not be here at all if it weren't for friends that came and worked for free, worked for sandwiches, worked for beer, whatever we could have that day. That's what they were working for, because we didn't have money. And we would sit out in the sun and string and marble and sand and paint, and we would do whatever we had to do to make sure that the kendamas got done. And it was a lot of fun. As hard as it was, it's fun looking back at those days now and thinking how innocent it all was compared to how it is now. I mentioned a few business partners. Gabe Clem, he's here with me today in the red. He is one of my business partners. He saved me twice in this business. First time was the initial payment that he helped me get the business started. The second was when he saved our business from drowning. I said we had a former business partner, and he's a former business partner for a reason. I was doing most of the work by myself for a very long time in the back of that shed, and Gabe realized that soon enough that he could start helping me. If it wouldn't have been for Gabe, I probably would have just done it myself until it ran into the ground. But Gabe came in, helped me, saw we needed to change some things, and he helped change some things. Sorry, I have to have a sip of water. So Gabe, I have him to thank. I have everything to thank Gabe for being here. We still lacked one part of our team, though. I'm very skilled in a lot of different parts of business, but one part I'm not very good at is graphic designing. And if there's one thing I can say about our company or about starting any company, is that that logo and that name and what it looks like is about the most important thing you can do. And that was one thing I had no grasp on. I had no idea how to attain that without having money, without paying someone to do that. So we found friends. We had a friend of a friend, and we got introduced to Matt Paulson. Matt Paulson is here as well. Paulson, where are you at? Oh, he's back in the corner in the camera. He's my other business partner. We gave him the task of designing our first product packaging. So put this in a box and make it look really cool and make us look really cool. He did that with his eyes shut. He is one of the most talented graphic designers I've ever met, and he's the reason that Sweets looks and feels as cool as it does when you see it in a box, or you see it on the internet, or you see it anywhere. It's all thanks to him, and so he is a very invaluable part of our business. So everything in Sweets Kendamas has happened for a reason. It's kind of my life motto. Everything in life happens for a reason. Whether it's good or bad, it's going to lead you to something else that'll eventually help you out, I believe. Nick Bloom, he's a member of the Chamber of Commerce. He owns Outdoor Perfection. He's a very good friend of our company, and he was nice enough, when we were in that little shed, he knew us, and he was looking for a space of his own to grow his own business. And so he found a space in Bloomington that we're currently in now, A1 Auto Body, the old A1 Auto Body shop. He found that spot, and he had no need for the paint booth. He didn't paint anything, so he knew a few painters who were struggling in the backyard and needed a paint booth, so he came and found us and talked to us, and by splitting the rent, we were able to afford it, and we were able to get into this official booth. That's when things really changed for us. It went from underground in the backyard, trying not to get caught for spraying things, to going in, if to be honest, and then moving into a space where everything is sanctioned by the fire department, by the city, and by all these different agencies that want to know and see what you're doing all the time. It was scary, but it was also a comforting feeling. We weren't doing things we weren't supposed to necessarily when we were just trying to move forward. It was a good feeling, to say the least. We had bought out a business partner. It's a very integral part of our company, and it's a very long story, but the short story is we had to buy out a business partner, and as a small company with not much money, it was a very, very difficult thing to do. Me and Paulson and Gabe had to make a very hard decision and decide that someone in our company was doing more bad than they were good for us, and we had to let him go. But that was a turning point in our business that went from we were lightly treading on ideas of what we wanted to do, but didn't know whether to say it or not because of certain people. So once people were gone, everyone's ideas were allowed to flow freely, and we were all allowed to be creative and be the Sweets company that we were meant to be. After he left, our sales for the year went 7 times as good as they were the previous while he was there. And then the year after that, which is this year, we did 2 times as well as we did last year. So it was the right decision that we made, even though it was difficult. But we're glad we faced it early enough in our business where we could be able to move on and still succeed. We had to move into another building after 1 year. The building that we moved into with Nick was not enough. We had to, painters were running into shippers, were running into people who were marketing and taking pictures, and so it wasn't all able to happen. We started leasing the building across the street from us. We'd always joked, oh, that'd be cool to have that place across the street, wouldn't it? You know, they got a window there, they got a retail shop, we got a retail shop, a kendama place. It's something we always just thought about, you know, just like everything we had thought about with this business, thinking it would be nothing, and it comes to fruition. So it's we're almost on the 1-year anniversary of us opening our first retail shop. We're the only kendama-only retail shop in the whole country. There's not another store that only sells kendamas and makes their money purely doing that. So that was very cool for us, and we were very excited to have that title. We do a lot of traveling. I personally do a lot of traveling for the company. We decided very early on that traveling was something that we needed to do in order to get kendama out there. It's hard enough to sell someone something, but it's even 10 times harder when they don't even know it exists in the world or what it does. So we decided to get in person. I started flying to San Francisco to meet other kendama players when there were only 10 or 15 or 20 in the country. I was flying to states to meet these people, to create these bonds so that we could create this culture. It's the biggest part of kendama is our culture. The culture lives online, and it's a culture of extreme sports people like skaters and snowboarders. It's athletic people. It's people who play sports. It's girls. It's boys. Our culture is enormous. It's old people. It's young people. You can go to a competition for kendama. You can see a 40-year-old next to a 5-year-old competing, and you are rooting for the 5-year-old, and he might just win because they're that good and they learn that fast. Traveling overseas has been enormous for us. Our company, we have sold kendamas in every continent aside from Antarctica in our short time. We've sold it in over 50 different countries all over the world. And it's due to us spreading the kendama love as far as we can go. I traveled to Japan because we needed to get in touch with the people who created this game. We now have 3 or 4 wholesale accounts in Japan. We're selling their toy right back to them, and they're buying our toy because we do it with such pizzazz and we do it with such a different look that they want it. And Japanese people love what Americans do. They copy us. I was just there, and they love us. They love the way we dress. They love the way we act. And kendama is their thing, but now American kids my age are doing it and making it cool again. And so Japanese people are once again getting into it. Oh, Americans are playing. Okay, we have to play again. So it's starting to, it was their grandfather's toy. It was a toy that their grandpa played. And so now the kids are taking it back, and we are turning Japan into a new forefront of kendama sales. And it's due to these trips and due to traveling and things like that. And as a business that is small and that has not a huge budget to do things like that, it's very hard with as many people as we work with and having business partners, it's hard to say, hey, I need to fly to Japan this next week because I need to go and talk to the Japanese, and we need to create this bond. And when not a lot of money in the bank account, it's hard to see the direct effects of that. It's hard to buy that $3,000 plane ticket to go just talk to people and not to necessarily make money. But we believe, and I believe, that that is very important in any business in order to succeed. The social media is one thing I want to talk about before I run out of time. It is the reason I believe that our company has gotten this far, and I believe it's the reason that we are still succeeding, and I think it's what's going to take us to the next level. Like I said, in communications, that's what I studied. I studied trends, and I studied how people like to buy things, and it's through ads, and it's through the way we market things to people. Social media and Facebook and YouTube, these are all just mini TVs. They're mini commercials that you're sending to people on a constant basis that are always in their pocket, always at their house, always on their desks. And it's all free. You don't have to pay one thing for it. You could sit at the computer all day and be in touch with billions of people, and you don't have to pay $1 for it. For the first 2 years of the company, I was just talking to my roommates, and they reminded me that I was always on my computer. We have over 9,000 almost Facebook followers now. We have 9,000 likes on our Facebook account. And my friends reminded me that in the beginning stages of this, I was just adding people. Anyone who had anything to do with kendama, I was just searching Facebook all day, looking for people. And that's how you created these webs and these different types of online communities that exist now. YouTube is the engine that supplies everything. YouTube is their commercials. If a new cool YouTube commercial comes out today, you all are going to get emails about it. Maybe not everyone, but half of you will know about it by the end of the day. Oh, did you see that cool video of the kitchen doing whatever? It's the same type of thing in our small communities. Oh, did you see that kendama player who did that trick? Oh, did you see that kendama company that released that new whatever? YouTube is a vehicle that is very useful for any company, not just ours. You could sell t-shirts, you could sell taxes, you could sell anything. Creating a commercial to show off your brand's image and who you are is the best way to interact with people. Video is the way kids are responding to things most nowadays. You almost see no posts online without pictures either. Almost every post has a picture or video. It's because kids learn visually. They don't read words. So if you just put words on your Facebook thing, they're not going to read them. If you put a picture with it, they're going to read them and then look at your picture. You know, if you have a video and it's too long, they're going to stop halfway through. All these little things, if you can find the perfect equation to making these videos and to doing these different things, you've gained followers and you gain recognition and you gain brand awareness and people start buying your product. And not having a lot of money as a small company, this is something that I put on myself to make sure we did good. And it is something I'm proud to say we are doing very well in, and we are leading our industry in a lot of those different things. Our website, we are an online business. So a killer web presence is very, very important, aside from all the social media. We all have websites. The website is kind of like it's your store. If you don't have a retail shop like we do, your store is your website. You go to sweetskendamas.com, whatever you see, that's who we are. And we take that very seriously. We We've built our website 4 different times over in the 3.5 years we've been doing this. And it's because we keep finding new ways that make it easier for people to shop, make it easier for people to learn about the things you're doing, make it more interactive, more fun. And we always think that you need to always keep improving. It's never good to just stop. And the people who build our website are actually right here, Spark Projects. Ryan, thank you very much. It's a very nice website, and I appreciate it. And with that, customer service, I guess, is just one of the most important things that I can't stress enough being an online business. People can't talk to you. They can't, sometimes they can call you, but most online businesses don't. So the only way you are directly talking to people is through typing and through emails and stuff, and it's very easy to not respond to some emails when you get 30 to 50 a day asking why my kendama's broken when all it is a string came out, you know? But that person is very important, because if you help them with their string, they're going to be very endeared to you for doing that. So aside from the internet, we do a lot of things in person. I go to every event that I'm asked to go to. Any event that people, anyone here, if you have a cool event you want me to come sell kendamas at, I'm going to come to it, and I'm going to find a way to go to it. I've been to 4 or 5 different state fairs. We've been at the Minnesota State Fair every single year. I've traveled to California State Fair and South Carolina State Fair. It's just that in person, kendama is a very hard toy to learn over the internet or learn without someone teaching you. And if you learn without someone teaching you, you're not necessarily going to even like it because you don't know how to use it correctly. So being in person is the best way to do it. Aside from events, schools, I love going to schools. It's my goal for this year to be doing it more. I do a lot of things as far as after-school programs with kids. Kendamas are very good for hand-eye coordination. There's I could talk all day about how good the kendama is for you and what it can do for your kids and the hand-eye coordination. Athletes use them because if they play this instead of Xbox, their hand-eye coordination gets better for hockey, for lacrosse. They're 2 of our biggest buyers of kendamas because their coaches tell them if they play with this instead of Xbox, they're going to get better. And it's a truthful thing. Kids in Japan start playing when they're 7 and 8, so that when they're 9 and 10, things are easier. Hurdles, I guess. I'm going to end with some things that are difficult. There are a lot of difficult things in business always, but one thing with us that's the biggest hurdle is we have too many good ideas. We created 3 new products last year. Aside from a product that no one has any idea exists, we created 3 brand new products, a Vudama doll, rolling pin, and we created another size kendama that does not exist. Ideas are great, and ideas are wonderful, and they put you on the map, but without money, ideas are just ideas. You have to have money to make all this happen, and as good as we are doing, you can never have enough money to fulfill all the crazy ideas that we have to move forward and to move kendama forward. And to us, that is, it is one of the hardest things to do. So we are currently working on putting systems and processes in place to create transparency and align with the same goals and visions of the company so we can all move forward as efficiently and effectively as possible. So what I'm saying is we need to communicate about which ideas we like the best and move forward with those instead of moving forward with many things at once. It seems like a small problem to have so many great ideas, but it can bog down your daily activities when you're worried about which one of the 8 things you want to do today, which one of the 7 things you want to do today, and it's much better to pick 1 or 2 things and excel at them. So with that, I think I will end, and thank you all very much for having me today, and our shop is on 9748 Humboldt Avenue. If you've never played kendama or you have someone who would like one, please come in. If you think your business would go well with ours, please see me afterwards, and I'd love to talk to you. I have business cards as well, so thank you very much for having me today. Yeah.
We'll open it up for a couple of questions, but just real quickly, if you have not put your business card in, or see Anna, because we have some drawings at the end of the program. She'll be circulating around. Hold your hands up. Oh God, now it's going to get real confusing with questions. Look at all these questions, Matt.
Yeah.
Wow, are you popular? All right, let's open for Q&A. Yes.
Can you demonstrate?
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, there's a bunch of different tricks. These are Ken flips. So you can flip Ken. You can do spacewalks. This is a trick. Yeah, there's 400 tricks you can do, so it's a lot of fun.
I don't think you want me trying that right now. Yes, Melissa?
Have you thought about going on Shark Tank?
So yes, I get asked that question a lot. More often than you would believe, actually. No is the answer. We have thought about yes, and the answer is no, we don't want to go on Shark Tank. We've had real life sharks come to us many times, and it's something that we want to do it ourselves. We feel that we have a good enough idea and a good enough plan and a good enough business and brand that we don't need someone's money and expertise just to get there. We believe that we could do it by ourselves and not need to go through the ordeal of giving someone a bunch of our company that we love very much. So,
Michelle, you had indicated that China makes these. Are they the only ones that can make it because they have some kind of a patent or copyright, or people just elect in the United States not to actually manufacture their own?
good question. China is the cheapest. Next to India, next to Taiwan. They all produce kendamas, and they all produce them for very cheap. We produce an American kendama here, actually. Our original plan was to do that. To produce a kendama in Minnesota costs 5 times as much as it does to make one in China. So we do have a line, and I did go through and make them. That's one of those tough decisions we made, and one of the many products that we have that I didn't even talk about. We have an all Minnesota-made kendama. It's all made out of maple wood. It's made by American workers, and none of it ever leaves the country, and it's something we're very proud of. But the reality is we can make 500 of those or 1,000 a year instead of the 100,000 that we're trying to sell a year. So.
Randy.
If you had one single piece of advice for beginning entrepreneurs, what would that be?
Keep track of everything. Keep track of numbers can get out of control very fast, I guess, just depending on how well your business does. We are very fortunate that in 3.5 years we've done over $1 million in sales already in 1 year. So that was not something we were prepared to do coming out of college. I was not prepared to deal with $1 million bank account budget, you know. So that is something that you need to prepare yourself for as a business person. I believe that I did not have, and it would be watch your numbers and watch where they're going and be in control of them as much as you can.
Robert?
Have you thought, or are you thinking about organizing a kendama tournament here in Minnesota?
So actually, we have a lot of mini kendama tournaments. We had our first official big one actually this year, the MKO, the Minnesota Kendama Open. We held it in St. Paul at the Union Depot Center. We had 15 people fly in from around the country, I think, pro kendama players to come and compete. There was we had $1,500 in cash prizes giving out. So people flew in to come and compete, and then there were 50 to 100 kids from around the surrounding area that came to compete as well. So events are very important, and kendama competitions are very important because it gives kids something to look forward to, gives them something to work towards. So we plan on having a big one, if not 2 every year.
Sweets, with your culture, what is it that you do or you can suggest business owners do to keep your employees so loyal?
Man, that's a really good question.
I can ask you after.
Yeah, of course. No, I mean, with our company is very unique in the fact that our friends are loyal because they're best friends I've had for years, you know? I mean, it's not something, I don't know if we've only hired maybe 1 or 2 people that we are not just friends with, just because it's a tough time and everyone needs jobs, and I'm 25 and my friends are all just out of college with no jobs, living at home. So it was an honor for me to be able to give them jobs and to do stuff. But the loyalty just stands with, I guess, in kendama culture in general. It's people aren't employees at Sweets Kendamas unless you love kendama. And unless you have that type of mindset. We've already went through the problem of having someone who doesn't have our mindset work with us, and it didn't work. So we start out by, first day of Sweets Kendamas, you get a kendama. You start playing kendama if you don't already, because that's how serious we are about it. But we do a lot of things that don't involve work that help us stay together, you know. We, aside from being friends outside of work, which helps a lot, in work we have very good camaraderie and we play kendama, and I mean, it's a toy factory. We have to have fun, right? It wouldn't be right if we didn't. So.
One last question? Yes.
Yes. I mean, every time I've been raising my hand, yes. So my one question I have about kendamas are you organic or environmentally friendly with the paints you use? I mean, probably coming from China, I don't know if the wood is organic, you know, environmentally friendly, but do you take a conservation approach with any of those items?
Yeah, most definitely we do. We try to be as eco-conscious on as many things as we possibly can. Kendamas are made of beechwood. Beech is a tree that grows very rapidly in China, and that's why they use it. They can plant them and cultivate them in 5 shorter years than most trees can. And they're light, but they are very durable, and that's why we use it. As far as eco-friendly on the paint, yes, we use all water-based paint, and we use paint that is only certified by the standards that we must do, but we try to keep we try to put out as little toxins into the earth as we possibly can through good ventilation and different things like that. All our packaging, we have packaging that's made out of all recycled material, and we try to do our part as much as we can. So.
Great. All right, Matt. Wow. Sweets, you are something else. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming, sharing your inspiring story this morning. All right, we've got, Matt, don't go too far because I think we're going to draw, okay? Did everybody get their cards in? Why don't we, Matt's going to come back up, and Matt is actually going to give away one of his own. So why don't you come up, and Anna, do you want to hop on up, Anna? Everybody, this is Anna Stinson. This woman deserves a round of applause. You can announce that.
All right, so I have here black stain complete with a neon green string. Ruth Jansen Ciprel.
Matt, don't go too far. We're going to need it. You and me, Matt, we're buds. Bonnie, I'm thinking Kendama's annual convention held in Bloomington. Bonnie with the CVB, there you go. That's what the chamber does, puts businesses with businesses. All right, now we've got a couple more drawings. We're going to pull 2 winners to receive 2 tickets for our annual gala. And I can guarantee you, if any of you were at the gala last year, you haven't seen anything yet. Hey, Tim, you're our chair for gala. Tim Bussey, can you come up and pull so it doesn't look like I'm rigging it? Tim Bussey is a member of the board of directors, city council, and is chair of this year's gala. You can announce it.
I can't read it.
Oh, sorry. Oh. That's all right. I can put city council, you know, in the...
Peter Bruce from Pedestrian Studies and Projects. All right, Peter. There he is. And Sandy Hayden from Metro Tech.
All right, I'd like to thank our sponsors again, Joe Sensors, Memorial Blood Centers, Northwestern Health Sciences University, TRIA, and the Hilton Minneapolis Bloomington for their support. Thank you very much. And I would also like to give special recognition and a huge thank you to Laura Mesner. Laura, you got to stand up. Laura has been phenomenal. Laura really is the producer for this annual meeting, and she just graduated from University of Minnesota Duluth, and she's mine, so nobody go talk to her after this meeting. All right, again, thank you very, very much for coming and attending our annual meeting, and have a great, prosperous 2014.